Okay, guys, welcome to a WrestleSlam special in association with Sports Matters TV. And it's probably fair to say, without Joe Cabray and OTT, there would be no Sports Matters TV. So yet again, the announcement came after a massive pay-per-view with OTT recently that Joe has decided to retire from wrestling. A tremendous career, obviously, back and forth all over the world, wrestled for WWE. And yeah, we just wanted to kind of do a quick, well, I'm not going to say quick, it's going to be 20 minutes plus, appreciation show for the man himself. No doubt, Mr. Irish Wrestling, and of course, one of the best promoters in all of world wrestling. And yet again, guys, if you haven't got your tickets yet, the 10th anniversary.
I think they might be gone.
Yeah, I was thinking that because I took a look kind of yesterday and I couldn't see any seats available, but they're still kind of sending on sale, so I don't know if there may be 3 or 4 left. But we were lucky to get our tickets, Phil. We were lucky. Thank God we have OTT demand.
I know. It always helps.
Yeah, no, it does. If you haven't heard, obviously, Finn Balor and JD McDonough will headline the 10th anniversary, guys, this October at the National Stadium, Dublin. It's going to be incredible. It is going to be absolutely insane. But we just want to dedicate this show to Joe Cabray, a guy that's helped me and Phil in so many ways. A manager, like when we talk sports matters, first of all, Joe is the man that gave us our big breaks. It was just after, because I was actually at the first Scrapomania, and from the second one onwards, we've always done media work. Now the last year or so we haven't, because obviously we have a mascot these days. My son Leon comes to the shows, and I suppose it's more of a spectator thing for us now, even though I'm sure we'll do more media work in due course. But yeah, we just want to dedicate this show to Joe. We want to talk about Joe. We want to talk about OTT, what he's done for Irish wrestling and putting Ireland on the map. So Phil, first of all, we've been blessed to attend so many OTT shows in general.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your first memory of Joe with us. If you remember that time many years ago, we done a couple of interviews in Dublin, and we got Joe the first time. There was a second time we done him in Dublin as well, and obviously there's been more since. But that first time we had him, and we were talking about his plans for OTT, and that was probably I'm going to say that was after.
That was 2016. That was 2016.
Yeah, so that would have been after Scrapomania 2. Yeah.
The ultimate goal, I remember that, all right, because I remember we were down in the little alcove thing in that pub. Yeah, we got a load of interviews that day, but yeah, he was, he was just so precious and gracious with his time to us.
Yeah.
It was just really kind of, this guy's so humble, and this guy really wants to just put on the best shows possible.
Yeah.
Especially because he was a wrestler before. He knows the ins and outs. But it was great to kind of, because before that I saw him. My first time I ever saw Joe was in Cork in the Glen Rovers. Is it the Glen Rovers? Is that the one up in
the hall? Yeah, great facility for wrestling. Yeah,
he wrestled actually twice on the one I seen. He was Luther Ward and he was Omen.
Yeah,
which
Omen.
Was surreal. Yeah, I didn't. I wouldn't have known much about it because I was kind of new to the Irish scene at that time. I was always like watching Raw and SmackDown, but I never kind of went into the local stuff until 2013 or 2012.
Yeah. And I suppose that's pretty much when they did start though, the Irish scene. I suppose it was kind of not irrelevant, but I suppose from 2012, 2013 onwards, it kind of did kick on, to be fair.
Yeah, you had those shows like what were they called? Irish Wrestling, American Wrestling.
Yeah, American Wrestling, Rampage, Irish Whip, and No Limits, and a few other
Cork
ones.
didn't have a show till CCW. Like, didn't really have a proper kind of wrestling kind of basis. I mean, they had bits here and there, but like that was kind of. What year was that? 2013, I think they started.
Yeah. He's been around a long time though. And yet again, we're forever grateful for what Joe's done for us since day one. He's always, gone above and beyond for us. Yeah, my first time meeting Joe was, I think, 2005. I've always been a big fan of Joe. His presence and his power, and I knew from an early age, like I was quite young back in 2005, same as Joe. Like, well, we're still young, by the way, Joe. But yeah, I knew he was going to be. I knew he was going to be something special. I always remember when the news broke he was going to join WWE.
Yeah.
And I kind of said that made sense for me because I watched him for so many years, watched him all across the country with American Wrestling Rampage, prior to that, like, when he was doing his own thing and he was on the scene across Ireland. Yeah, I absolutely adore him. And first of all, Luther Ward and Omen, two great ring names he's used over the years. Just overall, his presence, Phil, in the ring was incredible. His maneuvers, his moves, his movement, his awareness, his the way he
Like,
reads the match. I think overall, definitely one of the best I've ever seen in this country. And I would put him up there with Balor. I'd put him up there with Sheamus, JD McDonough anytime. He's in that category.
yeah.
When we spoke to him, he came home obviously from WWE. He
Yeah.
wanted to come home and promote the events and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's no secret that if Joe stayed in America, he'd be on the screens today on Raw and SmackDown. There's no doubt about it.
Like he only had a handful of matches in NXT. Like there wasn't, and I don't even think any of those were on actual TV.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff with Baron Corbin, and there was a few others. Like, he was around the elite. Like, you know what I mean? There's like Joe would have been with them all. Do you know what I mean? But I remember
Um,
that first interview we had with Joe, that exclusive when he was kind of home a while and stuff, and obviously I don't think he was more or less homesick, but he was like he had a vision of promoting events in Ireland, and 10 years later, Phil, it's paid off. Like, it really has paid off. That he's given us all these memories over the last 10 years. We've seen the likes of Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Keith Lee, Nixon Newell. We have obviously, you know what I
Nick
mean, John
Nemeth,
Moxley.
Nick Nemeth, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's incredible.
And
Now, obviously, Balor.
also the rise of LJ Clary has been another one like that. Shouldn't really go on talking
That's
about that.
another part of it, like, yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously Aoife Cusack, aka Lyra Valkyria, like, she was at the show over the last weekend, and
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's produced some of the greats. But for me, Joe is definitely he's a Hall of Famer. Like, if there was such thing, I said this there last year. Obviously, we had a little debate in a forum about like awards and stuff, and I generally believe that everyone should come together. It shouldn't be one-sided.
Yeah.
That Joe will be the first to win the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I generally believe
And
that's
the
the way it
Irish
is.
Hall of Fame for wrestling, 100%.
Yeah,
I'd
there's
say he
one.
probably deserves his own kind of what you say. Ric Flair always said, his own wing.
He does. He does. He'll never be forgotten, first of all, and he's going to be around another 50, 60 years promoting events and so much more. But like, he's just an incredible guy. And I just want to revert back to that first time we seen him wrestle.
Yeah.
When I looked at him, I would have thought he was American because I had this obsession with shows. I always remember them shows come to Neptune where you had the fake Kane, the
Yeah,
fake Rock.
I missed all that. I didn't go to any of that.
And these shows were sold out. Like, we're talking 2,500, 3,000 people there to see the fake Kane, the fake Rock. I mean, we'd wait for hours outside to get a glimpse, and they'd all walk in, but sure, we didn't know who they were because it's obviously the replicas, like, you know what I mean? Although Kane had a mask going in, like, but I remember Joe, and I just always, for me, he always stood out. Big presence, so powerful, just great chemistry in the ring, and obviously then I was lucky enough to see him become Omen and obviously Luther Ward, which I've absolutely adored throughout the years at OTT and in Cork. Yeah, I'm kind of, he kind of went down his own terms by the sounds of it. Like, obviously he's been in the ring for a long time. Sure, it's been 20 years, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like 2004, it was his first ever
yeah,
match.
yeah, I would have seen him a year after that. So 2005 was the first time I seen him wrestle. And I'm telling you, Phil, his presence in that ring was incredible. I always remember even the shows, American Wrestling Rampage. I remember one of my first interactions with Joe would have been obviously thanking him for bringing big names over and stuff, but just always on about, like, look at the size of your biceps, or, like, you had a really good match, or, I think you'd be a great match against such and such, you know what I mean? Yeah, always used to annoy him. Always used to annoy him from, like, we're talking 18 years ago. And to this day, I probably still annoy him. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, we adore him, and yeah, we just wanted to say thanks, Joe, for everything. Like, obviously, all the Scrapamanias, the anniversary shows. There's just been so much, and
Well, it's just a rise as well, like from the first scrapper mania. I know like the Tivoli Centre's now gone.
well, I was actually at that,
Yeah,
and I actually remember Pete Dunne. Pete
yeah.
Dunne on that card. So that's telling you
Pete Dunne and Tucker. It
iconic.
was Pete Dunne and Tucker
Yeah,
on the card. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, it's just as you say when it comes to the anniversary shows and Scrapamania, and do you know what I mean? And like I think I've only missed one maybe, and it's because I've been out of the country. But um, yeah, it's just what he's done and what he's going to do. Imagine the next 10 years. Like, he's really got from what it looks like in my perspective and from my side of things, he's got a great relationship with everyone.
yeah, yeah.
Just an absolute workhorse. As you know, we see him there, like even getting the shows ready, cool as a breeze. I've never ever seen like the way he multitasks everything. Like, even when we've been there over the years doing interviews and stuff, and like he still comes over to us in the midst of organizing an event, saying, "Did you get everyone you wanted?" And
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what, I'm glad you got good interviews and stuff. And
Always a
he's always
pleasure, mate. Always a pleasure.
always been a big supporter. And I'm telling you now, lads, and this is the God honest truth, like, there would probably be no Sports Matters without Joe and OTT, because that was the first kind of stuff I started doing, and it got us to WrestleManias. It got us, interlinked with WWE. Them interviews that we done with OTT from day one, and in Cork,
Yeah.
that paved the way for Sports Matters, because obviously we had a big wrestling background, and it's an honor. And I'm looking forward to supporting OTT and Irish wrestling in general for the next 30, 40, 50 years, because it's our fix, it's our obsession. And I'm just glad we have our tickets for the 10th anniversary, and looking forward to seeing my when I see Finn Balor, Phil, Corky boy, Bray boy, that's our little thing. Hey,
Cocky
Corky
boy,
boy,
yeah.
hey, Bray boy. So yeah, look, Jerry McDonough, absolute gem. But I was gonna say, like, yeah, it's just surreal that we have a guy like Joe that promotes events in Ireland, and he's an Irish promoter, and he's Irish through and through.
I think he also went out on his own terms.
Yeah.
I think he likes the spontaneous things. I don't think he's the kind of guy who would plan a year. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
you look at it this way, right? Like,
I don't think he's planning years retirement tour kind of thing. I
yeah,
think
well, I suppose 20 years, first of all, is a long time. Now, Joe can still go. Like, he is an absolute machine.
yeah.
But maybe he's so busy with promoting these events. Maybe that's what he wants to do. Like, I've never seen Joe out of shape. Every time I've seen Joe, he's always been in shape. I remember Joe with hair, and I remember the Joe, which is now the Vin Diesel Joe, that has that, clean shaved head, and he's just a fucking beast. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think I will ask him if when we do get up to him at some stage, we'll have to ask him why was it time now, like after 20 years. Like, I know maybe there might have been injuries throughout the
Exactly.
years, but Joe's always been in shape. Always, he's looked the exact same the last 20 plus years. Looks after himself, trains hard, pumps so much time into his school, and obviously OTT in general. Obviously, they're selling out like as you've seen, Scrapamania sold out in Belfast, Wolves, and Dublin.
Yeah.
So like that's
Unreal. That's
part of it.
unreal,
He's
yeah.
broken into the American market. I would not be surprised if they're in Germany soon, doing stuff in Italy,
Yeah.
and then sending stuff out
I
there.
know it in Italy there in November.
Yeah,
But yeah. I just have a few crazy stats there for you.
yeah,
He's had 283 matches.
mm.
Uh, his
That's
first,
unreal.
his first ever match was against Red Vinny, um, in the Mount Temple in Dublin.
Yeah,
And then he
and
fought
he's gonna
Sheamus.
lose.
He fought Sheamus a few weeks after that.
Yeah, was that Sheamus or Shaloxy? Yeah,
Yeah,
or was it
Sheamus
about Sheamus?
O'Shaughnessy. Yeah, that was actually I was in the
Shaughnessy, yeah,
WW event. Yeah, that was an
yeah,
Irish whip.
yeah.
It's mad. It's just
Joe,
his
Joe definitely, yeah. Like, just Joe definitely. If he stayed in America, he'd still be on our TVs right now. Like,
like he wrestled right in about 7 or 8 matches, and then he moved. Then he had a match in America, um,
yeah,
where he teamed with Finn Balor. against Ricky Reyes and Mackie.
It's mad, man.
Yeah, it's mad that he teamed with him like only not even a year into his
Yeah,
career.
yeah.
And then you know about all the stuff with Becky Lynch because when he's friends with Becky, I think they were roommates. I think
They were, yeah, yeah, yeah.
at
Like
NXT.
we'll definitely repost the interviews that we done with Joe over 7 years ago, 8 years ago, maybe actually. I'd say it
Yeah,
was 8 years ago, wasn't it?
yeah, it's 8 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah, 8 years ago, and yeah, we'll grab up. We'll meet up with Joe in due course. He's going to be busy heading up to October, but we will definitely get up to the school and do something. But yeah, like I think, like even when you've seen Becky Lynch's documentaries on WWE, you see Joe was there, like.
yeah. I seen a lot of pictures recently where he was there part of that class.
Yeah, yeah, he's been there, like, you know what I mean. He knows Becky as well as anyone in this world, and yet again, I would not be surprised if Becky shows up soon, and that's
Yeah,
the
I'd
truth.
love to
It's
see
the
her.
10th
I'd love to
anniversary.
see her at the 10th anniversary show.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Um, the fact that they have JD and Finn Balor there just shows the amount of respect that people have for OTT and Finn and JD not forgetting their roots. You know, especially JD, which is huge. And I'm looking forward to the pop. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. They've only announced them two on the card. Obviously, you know, we'll see Seth
Yeah,
and a few
who do you
others. But
reckon they're going to fight?
it's a great question, right? I think they could bring in someone big. You know,
Yeah,
maybe it'll be Fabio Mountain Stairs.
maybe it'll be the Hardy Boys.
Imagine. Imagine 10th anniversary. My God, and it's sorted out. You know, it's sorted out as
Yeah,
we expect. You know, within 2 days.
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. The Hardy Boys would be an interesting one.
I'd love it.
Bring them on. I'm looking forward to just arriving, and I love the stalls. I love,
But the
you
thing
know what I
about
mean.
that arena, the National Stadium, is every seat is brilliant.
Every seat's epic, yeah. And we've been everywhere. We've been up in the higher balcony doing
Yeah,
media work in the stalls, the front row.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I love the stalls. There's something about the stalls I've always loved. I love the way they kind of bend, and you know you're there, and
yeah.
you have that whole view of the ring
And
and the
also the
entrance.
wrestlers always come out the side there and they come over, but yeah, it's great.
Yeah, as Leon knows when he gets the fist pump off Mox. Mox in character, but Leon manages to get the fist pump. Um, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward, guys, to what's ahead with OTT and Joe. Yet again, look, we just want to say thank you for everything. I can keep
Yeah,
saying thank you, but seriously, you're the reason that Sports Matter started so kind of fast and bright. You know, it was them opportunities that you give us. You know, where you're saying, you know, lads, do what you need to do and enjoy it. And yeah, I could have, as you say, when I brought Leon there last year, I was quite emotional because obviously Leon's at the age now where he gets to witness these incredible shows as well. But yeah, we're Joe, we're forever grateful, man, and we're looking forward to seeing you soon. We're looking forward to the 10th anniversary. I've been blessed to be at everyone so far. So yeah, they're surreal. And all I will say is, guys, OTT, get your tickets now, even though they're sold out. If there's one or two left, then try and grab them ASAP. But yeah, do you know, 20 years, Joe Cabray / Luther Ward / Omen, incredible wrestler. A guy that put Ireland on the map. A guy I believe that if he was still in America today and opted to stay there, he'd be on our screen today with Sheamus and probably in the Judgment Day, probably with Balor and JD leading the way. You know, that's what we think of Joe.
yeah,
But yeah, what a guy. The coolest man under pressure. I've never seen him unfazed. He's always in the zone.
yeah,
And just what he does is incredible. You know, with the meet and greets to having the production ready for a show, to getting all the wrestlers ready, to planning the matches. You know, the storytelling, and it was just incredible to see him back wrestling and helping. Be cool.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So
again, like bowing out and in such a cool way in front of a full national stadium.
a full national stadium, what a way to go out! Yeah,
Yeah,
I wonder was he something that was on his mind a while, but we will find out. We're going to ask him next
yeah,
time we
we'll
see
ask
him,
him.
and we're on camera, and we'll get up the other two ones as well, the ones that we done over 8 years ago, and I think it might have been 8 years ago or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot's changed since them interviews. I think there was a lot of plans, but Joe had his vision and he knew what he was doing, and it's paid off. But anything else that we need to say, Phil? Obviously,
Just enjoy the show when it comes because this is one of the rarest things I've seen in my time. Like very rare.
It's the
Like
first
when
of its kind.
WWE guys don't be on independent shows. Like in my lifetime, and this is probably the first time. Well, the first time they'll be fighting because Balor was on OTT before.
Yeah,
But this is the first time they'll actually be in action.
which
Uh,
is so really.
WWE's changed and probably for the better.
It's definitely for the better.
Yeah.
Everyone seems happier, and we want your suggestions, guys. Right? So,
Who are they
in
fighting?
regards to the OTT 10th anniversary, who do you see Finn Balor and JD McDonough take on for that 10th anniversary? Now, I'm going to put my names out there, and I'm going to say I would love to see Fabio and Martin Stairs get that opportunity with J Money by their side, which I'm loving this, by the way. The whole, yeah, it's like a boy band kind of thing. But yeah, listen, who do you think will wrestle Balor, McDonough, and OTT the 10th anniversary?
Will there be
Is it
any
going to
more
be,
surprises as well? There's another thing.
yeah, Fabio and Martin, or are we going to go outside the box and say Phil reckons? Well, he hopes the Hardy Boys.
More Machine Guns is another one.
Yeah, there's so many names to pick, but for me, Martin and Fabio would be the two because they're Irish talent and they acknowledge Irish talent. So let us know. We're going to snip this part of the interview. You would, like, if you want to put your comments down below, please do, and suggest who you'd like to see McDonough and Balor face. We're just curious to see what you say and who you pick. But yeah, I think that's about it, Phil, is it?
Yeah.
It's a special. Yeah, we're happy to get on and do the special.
No, it's just nice to, because especially with what happened last week, it's nice to acknowledge what he's done and kind of just have a small chat about it.
Yeah, no, definitely. It needs to be acknowledged. And we will
Exactly.
try and get something on camera very soon where me, Phil, and Matt will sit down with him and we'll revisit 8 years ago, 9 years ago, and we'll talk all things and ask the questions that we want to know why. Why was he chosen now after 20 years and what's next?
Yeah, exactly. The future is definitely bright, and I'm looking forward to the next 10-year anniversary, 10 years, 20th anniversary show.
Yeah, well, in 10 years, I'll be 46 and you will almost be 50, Phil.
Nearly
We'll
56.
still be there, still in the stall seats, still eating our hot dogs and our potatoes and our bottles of water, and then on the way home having our Mackie D's and still enjoying OTT wrestling. But listen, guys, yeah, we just wanted to say thanks, Joe Cabray and OTT, and we're good that you're retired, but we understand why, and you kept it quiet, and well, obviously, you do things your own way, and that's what we respect. But yet again, Joe, I'm going to say it one more time. Thank you for everything. It's because of you that Sports Matters really got off the ground from day one when we started off. And yeah, we're forever grateful. And if I ever get a chance to write a book, your name will be mentioned definitely for my absolute, gratitude to what you've done for us. So for myself, Phil, and of course Matt Murphy, he's back on with us next week. We thank you very much. This is a Joe Cabray /OTT special, and they looked awesome on Ireland AM, by the way, guys. That was pretty cool. But we will catch you soon from everyone here at WrestleSlam and Sports Matters TV. We will catch you soon. And yeah, keep an eye out for OTT tickets, even though they're sold out, I believe, but people might have one.
People might resale, and there might be tickets around, all right.
Yeah, you might get that one. Someone might pull out and you might get one, and you might have to pay 500 quid for it, but it'll be worth it. Trust me. But we'll see you soon, guys. Thank you.